can you find and get employees that are on a mission, working with a passion and a purpose, pursuing a mission? Welcome to the Culture Course Show, where we help you attract top talent and build a thriving company culture. My name is Grant Botma, and I'm the owner of an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company in America. How do we get employees on a mission? How can we get employees to act with passion and with purpose? Especially those employees that kind of have administrative or very task-driven jobs. Like, how do we get them to act on a mission or a purpose? How do we get them to be purpose-minded, to do things with great passion? Well, I believe that you have to connect your mission, your purpose, your why of your business to their actions. And the best way of doing that is with stories. This episode is brought to you by my new book, The Problem Isn't Their Paycheck: How to Attract Top Talent and Build a Thriving Company Culture. This book is available on Amazon. It is an ebook where you can get it there. Paperback, like I'm holding now. If you're on YouTube, you can see this. Which, by the way, if you don't subscribe to the show on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to it. And if you like listening on podcasts, you can find this anywhere you listen to podcasts. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify. So Problem Isn't Their Paycheck, Amazon, ebook, paperback, hardcover, and on Audible. culturecourse.com/book. culturecourse.com/book. That tells you more information about this book. And there'll be a link there that you can click that will take you to the book so you can purchase. Or when you're on Amazon buying a new toothbrush or whatever it is that you're purchasing, you can search The Problem Isn't Their Paycheck, and you will be able to find it there. So again, how to get employees to work with a mission, a purpose, and a passion. Especially that admin staff, especially people who are kind of doing the same thing over and over again. You want them to do it well. You want them to do it with excellence. And that's going to require some emotion. That's going to require some purpose. That's going to require some passion. You have to, one, have a simple and great unified purpose, which I talk about in the book, right? Which you've probably heard me talk about in these episodes before. But you've got to connect all of the tasks, all of the things that everybody within your organization does. You have to connect it to that purpose. The purpose is something that's going to genuinely make a positive impact on other people's lives. It's something that's going to make the world a better place. This is something that is a big deal. This is something that even requires some sacrifice to do and to do well, right? So how do you get people on that mission, and how do you get those tasks that kind of seem mundane to be done with purpose? You tell the story. You tell stories. Okay, so here's an example. I got to get some people on my team to enter data into a CRM. And if they're not doing that, if they're not making notes, if they're not doing those things, it's not going to work well. Okay? And I told the story in two different ways. So here, again, here's an example. I was really having a hard time getting my employees to really put in some notes in our CRM and to put notes in well and do it consistently. And for them, it was like, well, what's the point? Why am I doing this? How does this matter? And I could do different things like saying, hey, you know what? If you don't do this, I'm going to dock your pay. Or if you do this, I'm going to pay you more. But that's not necessarily what's genuinely going to motivate them. What's going to motivate them consistently is to have them do this with a purpose and with a passion, to have them do this with a mission mindset. So I started telling some stories. It started by telling some stories internally. Hey, look, do you want to go on vacation and turn your phone off? Look, I know that you're a commission sales employee and you feel like you kind of have to have your phone on all the time, but how would you and your wife and your family like to take a vacation where you shut off your email and shut off your phone? Well, if you want that to happen, you've got to take notes in the CRM in order for the rest of your team to fill in for you. I created this story. Imagine you on a cruise with your family, completely disconnected from work. Wouldn't you like to do that? In order to do that and do that well, and to do it with confidence, knowing that your team is handling all of your files for you behind the scenes while you're away, it's only going to happen if you take these notes and do it well. You see what I'm talking about? You see how this story works? Here's an even more powerful story. Our mission at Stewardship is to love people through finances. In order for us to love people well, when people call in, when people come in, when people have questions, we need to know context. We need to know about their situation. We need to be able to make personal finances personal to them. And we can't respond in a personal way. We can't genuinely help them well. We cannot love people through finances unless we have context, we have information. That means when you're talking to them on the phone, when you've had an engagement with them, it needs to be in the CRM. We need notes from you. Because when you miss a note, we miss something about the customer. And if we miss something about the customer, we can't love them. And if they don't get loved well through their finances, they're going to find somewhere else to have their finances, or worse, we might handle their finances the wrong way. We can't do that. So you see how you tell the story behind this thing? It's not do it or else. It's not do it and you get paid a little bit more. It's do it because it matters. Any action that's done within the business likely in some way, shape, or form will lead to a positive impact being made on somebody else. Simply put, you've got to tell that story. You've got to be able to tell stories about every task and everything that's done and why it matters. So your call to action this week, find a thing that you wish your team did with a little bit more purpose. What is one thing that you wish your team did with more passion? Then create a story. Create a story that can be told this week that makes them feel why this is a big deal. That makes them feel and understand why they need to act in this way. Because the ability to tell these stories is how you get people, how you get employees to act with passion, act with purpose, and be mission-minded. Do that this week. Find that one thing that you wish your team did with more passion and purpose and tie a passionate story to that task. And tell that story this week. Have a great week.